What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft, how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Oh boy, I know everybody have noticed these crazy gas prices out here, and it is crazy. And it just goes to show you, people claim, oh, it's good to have wars because, everything in the economy goes down. Yeah, well, it sure ain't happening around here. That's for sure. Everything's going up. The food prices I notice are up, the gas is up, the oil is up, energy bills are up. So I don't know where somebody is living and everything is improving because a war is going on, but it sure ain't happening here. I was even looking at and I was telling y'all this yesterday, some videos out of Canada, because I was curious to see what the gas was. Y'all, Canada, they got it made compared to us when it comes down to gas. Prior to the war, I was reading Canada's gas was $1.60 per gallon prior to the war. After the war started, their gas is $2 per gallon. And I said, it just goes to show you how the US have been robbing us blind. They have been robbing us blind up in here. When was the last time we seen gas $1.60? But that's what they were paying up in Canada, y'all. And even at $2 a gallon, they're still doing better than us. And it just goes to show you we're only paying more out of pure greed. Some greedy ass rich person decided we should be paying way more than anyone else. This is why these rich people and Donald Trump and all of them need to get the fuck out of the way. I think everybody are tired. We're tired of all of this capitalism. Now you will see and understand why the Most High never wanted all of this capitalism on the earth. Because no matter what you pay, it's never going to be enough for some rich asshole at the top that wants more money. Okay? It's never going to be enough for them. Capitalism has ruined the world. It has ruined the world. And as long as people like Donald Trump are running the show, the economy is never going to get better. It's never going to get better. It'll just be somebody coming in behind him, just as greedy, just as ruthless, and keeping the prices up. So, y'all, all that talking Donald Trump did, oh, I'm going to get the prices down, grocery prices will be down, and nothing he said has came to pass. Nothing. Nothing. And I got to do another live a little later. Donald Trump's top counterterrorism agent just quit. He quit over the war. So I might be touching on that a little later, but you know, I understand why the Most High did not want the world ran on capitalism. I see why. These Gentiles got an appetite that cannot be satisfied. If you give them another 1,000 years, all of us will be living out on the streets. Seriously, nobody would be able to afford anything, or they'll be jailing all of us and making us slaves because that's how rotten they are. These people at this point should not run a dog pound. Donald Trump ain't even eligible to run a damn dog pound. But here he is sitting in a seat of power. And y'all, nobody wants to deal with Donald Trump. Nobody wants to deal with Donald Trump. When he gets on TV and lie talking about people are doing deals with him, Donald Trump is lying. Nobody is doing deals with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is so toxic. Other world leaders won't talk to him. And even a lot of the people around him are turning sour on Donald Trump. So, no, all this deal talk and I'm doing this, he's not doing any of those things, y'all. He just got to make it seem like to the public that he has not ruined everything. He has. That's all. And he knows he can't let the public know how much he has failed in his position as president. So he's going to keep on, any day now they're going to send, other countries will be sending their ships. No, they're not. Because I heard that too from Donald Trump. No, they're not. People are not going to let their young people go out on a battlefield and lose their life for a bunch of nothing. Because this war never should have started in the first place. So let's hear from people around the country on how much they're paying at the pump. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
A major shipping route for oil has effectively been shut down amid this war, sending shockwaves through the markets, with gas jumping nationwide from an average of $2.92 in Kansas to more than $5 a gallon in California. CBS News business and tech correspondent Jolene Kent is tracking this for us tonight.
The reality of the war in Iran is showing up at gas stations nationwide.
Oh, the gas prices going up is very frustrating.
Prices have shot up about 50 cents a gallon in just the last week.
Just watching the gas prices go from like $3.20 all the way up to $3.80 has been really scary.
Drone attacks on refineries in the Middle East and a choke point for ships in the Strait of Hormuz, where a fifth of the world's oil is typically shipped, are affecting supply. CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab is nearby in Qatar.
Well, there's real panic here in the Gulf tonight as the Strait of Hormuz, which is just off these shores, remains effectively closed. And as oil-rich countries slow production, the fear is the cost of a barrel of oil could soon hit $150.
And it's not just drivers feeling the pain. The price of diesel is up nearly $1 a gallon. That drives up the cost of farming and consumer goods and could send inflation higher.
I'm thinking about the diesel that goes in every tractor, truck, and combine on our farm.
Megan Kaiser is a soy and corn farmer and soil scientist in Missouri.
You're in planting season right now. Fuel is costing you more. What does that do to your business?
Well, it automatically dips into our margins, which were already tight. And so it is a concern. And the timeliness of we have to plant when the weather is right, when the soil is right. We don't have a lot of options on waiting for fuel prices to change.
Oil prices did settle well below $100 a barrel today. This comes as the G7 energy ministers plan to meet tomorrow to discuss possibly releasing some of that strategic oil reserve to relieve some of that pricing pressure. Tony?
Jolene, thank you very much.
For American drivers, the cost of the war is already showing up at the pump. The national average for a gallon of regular just hit $3.60, up 35 cents in the last week.
I got a full-size truck and it cost me $100 to fill my tank.
It affects me from doing other things I need to do. I mean, it may take away from me buying groceries.
But there's a bigger warning light flashing for the economy: diesel. Prices are up nearly 70 cents in a week, almost $1.20 in the past month. The trucks that move much of what Americans buy run on diesel. Economists see this troubling spike as a red flag for inflation.
We've seen diesel prices increase faster than gas prices. What do you think is going to happen in terms of that impact?
These are adding to a lot of transportation costs, a lot of shipping costs, but they also seep into other costs in the economy. These are the multipliers to get to a much more broad-based increase in prices that go beyond what we see at the gas pump and showing up in things like the grocery store as well.
Rising energy costs also come as many consumers already feel crunched.
We've seen these compounding price increases that even when they slow down to be below wage gains, it's not enough to feel as good as you did prior to the pandemic.
Now, the White House is taking measures to mitigate rising oil prices, announcing that it plans to release 172 million barrels from the strategic petroleum reserves. But Swamp warns that won't bring prices down. It will just slow the climb. Tony?
Yeah, prices go up a lot quicker than they come back down. And Kelly, while I have you, it's not just oil that goes through the Strait of Hormuz. What else could be affected?
That's right, Tony. This is a very important trade waterway. Think about aluminum. We've already seen prices go up. But one thing in particular I have my eye on, Tony, is fertilizer. A good part of the world's fertilizer comes through that. Think about farmers and how that could increase produce and things at the grocery store.
We all need to eat. Kelly O'Grady, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The bombs may be exploding in the Middle East tonight, but the fallout is rattling households and businesses right here in this country. Most immediately, it's pain from the oil supply shock. CBS's Willie James Edmond is in West Palm Beach, Florida, traveling with the president. Willie James.
Jerika, good evening to you. As energy prices climb here at home, the Trump administration is trying to protect confidence in the war with Iran, with officials saying the military campaign is ahead of schedule, even as the price for the war increases.
That's a lot.
This weekend, sticker shock at the pump for millions of Americans as the average for a gallon of regular gasoline ticks up 71 cents since the start of the war with Iran, drawing comparisons to an earlier energy crisis.
Several more oil companies today announced wholesale gasoline price increases.
On Face the Nation, White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett said the economy will recover.
The bottom line is that in the 70s, we didn't produce much oil, but now we do.
Hassett also says the cost of the war is an estimated $12 billion, and the administration could approach Congress for more.
Do you need to ask Congress for more money to pay for what you're doing?
I think right now we've got what we need. Whether we have to go back to Congress for more is something that I think that Russ Vought and OMB will look into.
Meanwhile, a brewing war over TV airwaves. FCC Chair Brendan Carr writing, broadcasters that are running hoaxes and news distortions, also known as fake news, have a chance now to correct course before their license renewals come up. Carr's post is a reaction to President Trump's complaint about Iran war coverage. The FCC's sole Democratic commissioner, Ana Gomez, blasted Carr's statement, adding, such threats violate the First Amendment and will go nowhere.
Now, broadcast TV licenses aren't up for renewal until mid-2028, but in an exclusive interview with CBS News, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr stressed that nothing is imminent, but TV licenses should not be treated as a property right, Jerika.
Willie James Edmond traveling with the president tonight. Thank you.
National gas prices have just been released, and we are sitting at $3.67 a gallon, when just a week ago, we were at $3.41 a gallon. And if you go back a month ago, we were at $2.93. The Financial Times came out with an article and they said that gas prices will not go back down until 2027 at the earliest. That's the earliest we would ever see these gas prices that we saw a month ago. This is absolutely mind-blowing. What they are doing right now is destroying the dollar. The GDP has shrunk, unemployment is up, Black unemployment is over 8%, and we are just watching this man destroy the country right in front of our eyes. At what point will people start to say, this is enough? The elected officials we have in our offices are rolling over. They're allowing this all to happen. Articles of impeachment should have been brought up already multiple times, and we're still sitting on our hands.
Average cost of gas now has rose to $3.70 per gallon. That's the average cost. Come on, sip a little tea with Auntie. Let's talk about it. So y'all know jet fuel, with the cost of gas going up, it has to go up too. So yo, getting on an airplane, flying somewhere, just prepare for that to get ready to go up too. Y'all, with no end in this war. Now today is the 15th. This war has been going on since the 28th of February. So that makes it 16 days, a little bit over 2 weeks, y'all. No end in sight. Iran said they ain't stopping. The U.S. saying they ain't stopping, so it's still going tit for tat. Y'all, prepare. The cost of gas will go up even more. Donald Trump is trying to convince other countries to go through the Strait of Hormuz to start back bringing oil through there so they can drop the prices down. But ain't no country seeming to be listening to Donald Trump at this point, because them people is not going to go messing with Iran. Iran is schooling everybody that came knocking on their door, causing some ruckus. They schooling them one country at a time. So why would these people go put themselves in harm's way behind you telling them to go through there to get some oil? It's not happening, y'all. So prepare for the gas prices to continue to rise. Your plane tickets, they will start to rise, amongst other things, y'all. Stay tuned. The war still ain't over yet. Thank y'all for sipping a little more tea with Auntie. Bye, y'all.
Now, I don't mean this to be political in any way, and if you construe it that way, I guess that's on you. But this fucking Durango behind me, I fucking love this rig. And I filled this motherfucker up 2 days ago. I had like an eighth of a tank left. And I was like, I gotta hit the cheapest fucking gas place I could find in my area, and that's the AMPM in Gig Harbor. It was $122.18 to fill this motherfucker. Now, I owned a Triton V8 Ford F-150 for 20 fucking years, and I drove that thing to damn near fucking dead E multiple times. It never cost me over $100 fucking to fill it up, not one time. This Durango literally has the same size fucking gas tank. $122.18 to fill this motherfucker up. And if I drive it around every day for the next 5 days, I'll be back to a fucking eighth of a tank. I'm just saying, for all the fucking political bullshit I fucking heard from one side over the fucking other about affordability and fucking gas prices and the prices of fucking eggs and fucking groceries, you gotta be fucking goddamn kidding me. This is goddamn ridiculous. $122.18 fucking cents to fill up my fucking car. Are you shitting me? I should be spending that kind of money on fucking groceries for the next fucking 5 or 6 days. That's fucking ridiculous. I have another car. I have a little fucking Kia. I get like 42 miles to the gallon. I got to drive my little fucking Kia everywhere because of my fucking Durango. I got to take out a goddamn fucking payday money loan just to fill the motherfucker up. But hey, how's that fucking war in Iran doing? Fucking fuck.
I'm curious to see everybody else's gas prices right now. This is North Pole, Alaska. Excuse me, what? What?
Here at home, the economic impact of the war continues to grow. The national average for a gallon of gas hitting $3.72 overnight. That's up nearly 80 cents in just a month. NBC's Garrett Hake is at the White House with more on that part of the story. Garrett, good morning.
Hey, Craig, good morning. And yeah, for most Americans, those rising prices at the pump are the most tangible daily signs of our nation at war. Overnight, President Trump telling reporters they will come down quickly when the fighting is over. But the president also said he's not yet ready to end that fighting or strike a deal with what's left of Iran's leadership to end the war, now entering its third week. As the war in Iran enters its third week, the Trump administration facing growing pressure over surging gas prices, with the average price per gallon now at $3.72, up more than 70 cents since the war began, and U.S. crude oil over $100 per barrel. The president overnight insisting the price spike is temporary.
The prices are going to come tumbling down as soon as it's over. It's going to be over pretty quickly.
But Energy Secretary Chris Wright on Meet the Press says that relief may not come for weeks.
It is a short-term disruption in the flow of energy. Americans are feeling it right now. Americans will feel it for a few more weeks. But at the end, we will have removed the greatest risk to global energy supplies.
President Trump over the weekend posting other countries must help keep the Strait of Hormuz open, naming the UK, France, Japan, South Korea, and China as potential allies. But so far, none has suggested a willingness to send forces.
I really am demanding that these countries come in and protect their own territory because it is their territory. It's a place from which they get their energy.
And in an interview Sunday, the president suggesting he may even delay his long-planned summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping if China, which gets much of its oil from Iran, doesn't aid in unblocking the strait. Republicans are largely standing by the president, saying the war will ultimately benefit the Middle East.
Everybody's so impatient right now, but within weeks, I think we can have this accomplished.
Democrats argue the war is backfiring on the U.S.
I don't think the war is worth the costs, and it has already unleashed a lot of things that should have been foreseen, like the closing of the strait, like Iran's attack on its neighbors. But it's not clear that the president had a plan for any of this.
Now, as for the president's desire to create this coalition of allies to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, the early response has been less than enthusiastic. The Germans, Australians, and South Koreans have all suggested they won't be participating. And just a short while ago, the British prime minister said he's consulting with allies to come up with a, quote, viable plan to reopen that critical waterway. Craig?
All right.
The country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used.
The bombs may be exploding in the Middle East tonight, but the fallout is rattling households and businesses right here in this country. Most immediately, it's pain from the oil supply shock. CBS's Willie James Edmond is in West Palm Beach, Florida, traveling with the president. Willie James.
Jerika, good evening to you. As energy prices climb here at home, the Trump administration is trying to protect confidence in the war with Iran, with officials saying the military campaign is ahead of schedule, even as the price for the war increases.
That's a lot.
This weekend, sticker shock at the pump for millions of Americans as the average for a gallon of regular gasoline ticks up 71 cents since the start of the war with Iran, drawing comparisons to an earlier energy crisis.
Several more oil companies today announced wholesale gasoline price increases.
On Face the Nation, White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett said the economy will recover.
The bottom line is that in the 70s, we didn't produce much oil, but now we do.
Hassett also says the cost of the war is an estimated $12 billion, and the administration could approach Congress for more.
Do you need to ask Congress for more money to pay for what you're doing?
I think right now we've got what we need. Whether we have to go back to Congress for more is something that I think that Roosevelt and OMB will look into.
Meanwhile, a brewing war over TV airwaves. FCC Chair Brendan Carr writing, broadcasters that are running hoaxes and news distortions, also known as fake news, have a chance now to correct course before their license renewals come up. Carr's post is a reaction to President Trump's complaint about Iran war coverage. The FCC's sole Democratic commissioner, Ana Gomez, blasted Carr's statement, adding, such threats violate the First Amendment and will go nowhere.
Now, broadcast TV licenses aren't up for renewal until mid-2028, but in an exclusive Interview with CBS News, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr stressed that nothing is imminent, but TV licenses should not be treated as a property right, Jerika.
Willie James Emmon traveling with the president tonight. Thank you.
Y'all, it's going to be a lot of places around this country by the time summer come. You're going to be looking at $5 and more per gallon. It is coming. Look at where the prices are. Summertime is usually when it rises every single year. You know, you got that summer blend that's coming out and they always charge you more for it. So now, I mean, what you're looking at now, by the time July comes, you're going to wish you were looking at these prices you're seeing now, which are crazy. But, you know, I just love it. When I was watching the videos, you know how many these white men, oh, this is just temporary. This is, we can get paid. First of all, you are all rich. It doesn't matter what the gas prices go up to. You're rich. Every single one. You notice how nonchalant all of them are. It ain't going to be, it is going to go down. This is just temporary. It does not make me feel better that some rich white man said that. Okay. No, I don't feel better. So we're paying higher prices because Donald Trump decided to bomb a country that was not bothering us. And he started a very unnecessary war. And now he expects Americans and other countries to sacrifice their young people for a war that never should have started. I am so done with this man. It's not even funny. No. You know, articles of impeachment, it's no good if he gets to remain the sitting president. That's what happened the last time. He got impeached and he got to remain as a sitting president. I don't see the point. I don't see the point. If you're going to impeach him this time, he must go. He must go. If that is not part of the impeachment, then why bother doing it in the first place? Seriously, why bother? And he's still going to be sitting there. Pointless. Wow. Y'all, what a mess. And Donald Trump is still trying to call for a ceasefire, and Iran is just ignoring the hell out of his behind. You're ignoring the hell. Maybe if you didn't double cross them 2 times, Donald Trump, they probably would have been inclined to do some negotiating with you, but they're not going to negotiate with you now. You know, y'all always think you can outwit somebody. And sometimes, believe it or not, you'll have to face those consequences. I know it's hard to believe, but yes, it's true. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I'm going to do the counterterrorism. I think he was an agent that just quit on Donald Trump over the war. And, you know, somebody like that will probably come out strong against Donald Trump in the coming weeks. You'll probably see him, you know, on some of the news networks and stuff because he literally walked out on Donald Trump. So we'll talk about that a little later. Everybody, please enjoy your afternoon and shalom, family.